As human beings, we all need to be inspired to do what we love to do. Painting is a great way to be inspired and to inspire people. What makes inspirational art different from other paintings is the approach to subject matter. As inspirational artists, we believe that a picture is neither an arrangement of a bunch of lines and colors, nor it is a transcript from nature. Behind every inspirational art lies another order of meaning. This is the basic. Once the lover and the beloved are one, love takes place. Then the emotion takes over. As long as lover and the beloved are separate, there is no love. The emotion of love is only when lover and beloved become one. When you become the beloved, you create amazing paintings. So I usually start with rags, and I put some different paint on the canvas. From then on, the canvas guides me, not me telling canvas, I want you to be like that. Canvas says, touch me here. It's just the same way as lovemaking when you would follow the partner's desire. If you feel what your canvas wants, then you can create. And in order to feel it, 5 senses got to work together. If they don't work together, you cannot get the full emotion.
Wow.
There you go. That's the secret, the 5 senses.
No, a good lesson in lovemaking.
Thank you.
And that also, yeah.
Yeah, this next workshop is going to be really fun.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Y'all are already like just going wild and letting go. I mean, like the Rousseau artworks, I saw those. I was like, wow, ladies. It's like tapping into that wild side. Definitely making love with the canvas. So
Want to welcome the new season coming up. A lot of us, we join these play shops with enthusiasm for painting. It goes so far beyond that when we all get together, and the alchemy, I think, of the group is always unique each season. You know, each theme it's a wonderful invitation for both of, you know, the community and for Rassouli to kind of open us into and guide us into like this journey. What happens is part of the whole joy because it's unexpected. The theme this last session was landscapes. We went in thinking, you know, we're going to be studying landscapes, and we did, but we also discovered a lot of artists that were just like, oh my gosh, where have these people been? Who is this? And, you know, so the inspiration is really fresh. The pieces that are shared that everybody comes up with, you know, sometimes are so new. They inspire each other, and sometimes there's a common thread that you see when we're sharing a certain artist. So I think that's always so magical, and so what a joy to experience and to be part of that.
I was actually going to tell you, like you said the word magical, and that's the way that I feel that it really is. You know, you sign up for the workshop thinking, okay, maybe I'll like learn how to paint. And then you know, it was intimidating, at least at the beginning, because I would see all of these great artists that were being covered and the great artists in the class. And then I would be worried that I wouldn't like do them justice. But it's not even about that. It's about the magical journey from within. And the landscapes weren't even just about painting landscapes. It was discovering your own inner landscape and then bringing that to fruition through creation. And Rassouli has this magical capacity to weave things together and, like you were saying, to lead us into a new journey. But it's like it's all methodical. He does it very very intuitively, and guides us. And what ends up happening is you find more of yourself, and you finally are able to surrender and produce whatever creations want to come out. But it doesn't matter the criticism, your own criticism. Just by doing it, it's a therapy, and it is magic actually being created into the world.
I think what you just said is so important, because the most important aspect of this is self-discovery, as you just said. And so it's amazing how it happens. Doesn't matter how much you think you know of yourself and that you have dwelled within before. Every single session with the group, I've been able to be inspired more than anything else to look in an area within myself as like my emotional storage, my creative storage, my everything just kind of like opens up a bit, and then you're able to enter within yourself into a deeper and a more and so more enjoyable. There is so much joy in doing in this process. The self-discovery is so beautiful in here, and being that self-discovery manifests itself but in art, in creation, and that is just the beauty of it. So somehow it has really, really elevated me as a person, as a human being, as knowing myself.
I think the other thing is, the confidence that grows in all of us as you see your friends, as you see your fellow, new artists, the growing artists, just take those leaps and go into like, oh, they're going into a new territory. It's uncertain, what's going to happen there, but they're taking that leap. And so it kind of like, it rubs off each other. You see somebody growing in confidence, and you go another step in that direction as well. And that's so important. And I think one of the most valuable things in our community is that, it gives us that courage to be like, oh, let me share this.
There was one piece of artwork that I did that I was really embarrassed. Like, I didn't want to turn it in, but I sent it to you anyway. And I was like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Because like I was so inspired by one of these artists that I wanted to do them justice. But what came out was like a ghost blurb. I was like, okay, like that took like everything for me to actually submit that. But like once I did, y'all were so supportive. And just, it's not like you're going to turn in, even if you do a stick figure and have somebody rip you apart. That's not what this is. It's finding what it is in you that you needed to express. And, everyone recognizes that in you and your artwork and helps to support and lift you up through your own process. So I tell everybody that this is actually like this is therapy, for me, because it taps into those aspects, like Giddy was saying, in your soul, those deep parts that maybe we don't, even know about consciously, but it brings that out and it actually allows you to heal through that.
I'll add on to that. I was hoping that a friend of mine that I had coffee with yesterday was going to join today. She and I have been friends for a few years, and she's kind of hit a wall. And I think she was in a vulnerable state, and she was like saying, I feel like I need something. I don't know what, and I was thinking about this class, because I think it's hard sometimes for us to feel. And sometimes it's just good when she's a creative, she doesn't do painting, but she does other things. And, this is sort of a free class to be able to just kind of get to know yourself a little bit. This is more than just, painting and discovering beautiful masters, right? It's beyond that. Sometimes those paintings that I did in the last 2 sessions, I can look at a picture and remember, I'm like, oh, I was feeling that, or oh, I rose through that. And it's kind of really nice to have a visual history of your growth along the way.
Inspiring yourself too, like the art is inspiring, Rassouli is inspiring,
Yeah.
inspiring, everybody in the class is inspiring, and then you have like your own inspiration too by looking back at that and seeing maybe what you've grown through or healed.
The artists that we go through, and the theme, like in this case, nature and landscapes, they're really the vehicle for us to move through, whatever comes up, really. So in this case, like, it was really pretty powerful to see how each of these artists connected to nature, how, their love for nature, and how that translated onto the canvas for them, individually, and then also to experience, Rassouli's narration and seeing it through his eyes is another layer of upon layer of what we experience. And then, us taking the invitation to paint, or to, go through that week and observe the landscapes around us through, that artist that we were looking at. Like, if you really go through with it, like, it changes you. And it's not just, you let it change you, and you let it, show up not just on the canvas, but wherever it wants.
Yeah, it's liberating.
Really. And I think the nature and the landscape one really was really, I think we had so much fun, just because we have so many nature lovers here in our community.
Mhm.
How much do you love a tree? How much do you love an ocean? And, what is the essence of the tree, of an ocean? What's, beneath all of that? What else do you see? And it was just really, what a healing experience to be a part of.
Being introduced to a new way of creating art or creating something out of the nature of things. So, like, one of the things we were doing was painting the nature of nature, a series that we did. And so, in order to do that, this is the therapeutic aspect of it, being inspired to do something, but the expression that you have, which is what you create, that is the manifestation of that experience.
Personally, and also in the life that is in the painting, the life of these people, artists that are painting or we're painting, there is, or nature and the life in nature and the creativity in nature that is, like Rosario was saying, of the tree, the feeling, and the soul of the tree. I don't know how to say that, the sap of the tree. All of this has been with me, and it has been a transformative process to be in classes, and as well as I had also my own reflection around that. And I just wanted to say to all of you that Rassouli gave us titles that are powerful. And I was my website yesterday, and I was like, this is absolutely so rich and beautiful. He gave us a list of titles that Rosario forwarded to us that I feel inspiring. So
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, you were breaking up a little bit, but I could hear, I think, some of it. We had a lot of definitely people that you could see there was a breakthrough experience, and you could see it in their art, that it's just moved or transformed in a way. And definitely, Isabel, you're one of these artists that you have been painting, and you have had your identity and your style very, you know, solid for a while, and then all of a sudden something there's a spark of change. And Iluna, we saw Iluna also experience that. I don't know, for us at least, you know, we're always our jaw drops when we see your canvas. But then this time, you know, there's something different too, that, you know, there's a different element that it's hard to put your finger on, but, you know, you just kind of experience it and marinate a little bit in it and let it change you so you can speak from it. And that happens, I think, no matter if you're never touched a canvas or if you've touched the canvas for years and years and years. It's really, you know, how you you know, your heart connects to these, you know, what we're moving through, and you allow it to move through, you allow it to open and to share, which is a big part of the process.
Yeah, we have a younger lady named Mida who
Yeah.
joined us this session, and she produced this powerful work of art this last session. And she detested it because it was, you know, a part of something that, yeah, there we go, that she was accessing inside herself, right? She was dealing with this situation, but everyone else loved it so much. Like, your own inner critic can be your worst enemy sometimes.
Absolutely.
And knowing that, you know, this group, these workshops are so supportive and see magic sometimes when you can't. So,
Yeah.
you know, we see things, a lot of, you know, what maybe you're blocked to at some points, because this piece is so incredibly powerful and so emotional that it creates that discomfort, you know, inside, because when you look at it, you're seeing that sort of raw part of whatever is going on. But to us, this is just really magnificent. So
Yeah, sometimes it's, you know, our filters, right, are of what we were experiencing. Like, maybe sometimes it's hard for us to have a distance from it. But I think when you share it and with a group, it's like, oh, okay, like we're seeing it from a different perspective. I don't know what you were going through, but this is whatever it was powerful.
Mhm.
And it comes out in this beautiful expression and beautiful composition. And she's a newer artist who I think this is her first session with us. So,
And her first session of painting, or she'd never done any paintings before in her life. She just
Yeah, and she's had some magnificent works. I mean, there was one with the stones that she did that I still think about. I really love that. She had these accent colors in there, like the blues, that just stood out and were so beautiful. But yeah, like, I mean, it's easy to beat ourselves up over it, but then, like, if you just share it, you know, somebody is going to benefit from it. Somebody will see something that you don't. And I think that's just kind of what I wanted to say as a main point, is because even if you're scared to join, because, you know, you see some of the other artworks, all of us started from somewhere too. And you are an artist, even if you don't think that you are. You can draw a stick figure and still have it come from the heart. You know, if it has emotion there, we're going to see it and support.
and it's meant to be shared, you know, our emotions, our expressions. And I think that's one of those things that, you know, we talk about, that Rassouli, I feel like, really stays with me. You know, you don't want to have that emotional constipation. It's really uncomfortable. And part of it is, you know, when you let it go, and whatever it is, if it's like, you know, that you just threw some paint and you know, it's an expression, and it's a letting go of that, you know, which we can do with our paintings and our emotions, which is like, no, let me hide them. Let me put them in the closet. Nobody has to see them. But then, you know what, you start to share them, and it's like, you're free from them. You can move on. You can, you know, experience something different and create something different. And that's the beauty of it. But yeah, that emotional constipation is a powerful block. we're moving from the summer landscape themes and, these wonderful artists that we met into the fall season, which the theme is going to be around romantic art, which is, you hear romantic and you think romance, but we're talking about, emphasis on emotion. We're talking about, moving away from maybe classical or traditional and focusing on symbols, focusing on what it is that your ideals are, your idealizations of not anybody else, but your own, and exploring that through, the array of artists, the diverse artists that we're going to be meeting each week. So that's pretty exciting. And, of course, we all love, especially if you're not in California and you experience a seasonal change, it's more romantic. So here we're going to romanticize it, as we gather these weeks together, and just really get to know. I think even if you've studied an artist before with Rassouli, maybe you'll the focus will be on the romantic. What are these artists? What are the symbols they use? What are their ideals, their individualism that they're expressing on the canvas, and how can we be inspired to express that, in our own? And I'm already excited, to see, because some of you really have that very strong, those symbols that you allow just to show up on the canvas. And that's exciting, breaking away a little bit from traditional and just giving ourselves like that permission to go more into our imagination, maybe our unconscious, even a little bit more than we already did in the summer season.
On the Saturdays, as usual?
On Saturdays, yeah, at the same time, from 8 to 10.
Okay.
So we opened the Zoom doors at 7:45. So to give people a few minutes to settle, make sure their technology is working. And then usually, sometimes we have a short video or something, to share that might relate to the topic. And then we welcome Rassouli. And, part of the experience is to come up with, also if you have questions or doubts or something that you want to talk about too, that's the time that we get into it with him. And, you kind of get to weave the theme of the week with whatever question you have. And so that makes for a very lovely discussion. And what a way to, to start your Saturday, right? Your weekend. And then we go straight into sharing, either the artist of the week, talking about a little bit about their life, their style, their expression, what every person sees, and then the assignment. And if there's pieces to share, then we go straight into sharing the art pieces. And people are encouraged to just let them, be open to receive feedback. And so the rest of us, either gasp, take a moment to catch our breath. And then, we express like, oh, this is what I feel when I see this piece. I feel this. And sometimes, the artist confirms or denies. Well, no, I was feeling this, or yes, I was totally feeling this other emotion, or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
And then will there be a break, and can you talk about the upcoming in-person 3-day retreat?
So there won't be a break because the Saturday play shops are on Saturdays, and the in-person retreat in Rancho Palos Verdes is going to be from Monday. It's going to be during the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it breaks beautifully. I think we'll be at the retreat center Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just immersed in the activities and, the meeting each other and the exercises. And then on Thursday, if you choose to continue for an extra day, we'll be visiting Rassouli's studio. And then visiting a gallery or something, a museum in LA. And then we'll resume the play shop on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exciting as well, getting to meet people in person and just experiencing that live. I mean, if we experience all of these magic through, our virtual meetups, I can only imagine, right? This will be the first time for me to have a long retreat like that with everybody, so I'm excited. Yeah. It has a very meditative, like really beautiful location, lots of gardens, and there's a labyrinth that we're going to be walking through, and it's just very ideal for what we'll be doing.
Yeah, people travel all over to go to Ranchos Palos Verdes.
Well, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. And I'm going to put my email, fusionartplayshop@gmail, if you have questions about the upcoming session. And, I'll just share this last little short video with all of you before we say goodbye for today. Here, I look forward to your questions and to see a lot of new friends and welcoming our old friends back to the fall season. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll be in touch. Thank you for being here.